Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the division in the Christian community. The church is meant to be a place of unification, where people come under the Christian community and are unified since the very beginning. But division has found a way to creep in. Paul saw this happening in Corinth, and in his letter to them, he called it out directly. He pleaded with, be of the same mind and judgment, not divided by loyalty to different human leaders. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 10 through 17. This isn't a new problem. It's even found in the Old Testament. This division among God's people led to destruction. You could look at Israel after King Solomon's reign. It ended up splitting into two regions, the North Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. The North Kingdom was Israel, and the Southern Kingdom was Judea. Constantly fought, weakening both, and ultimately leading to exile, which is mentioned in 1 Kings chapter 12, verses 16 to 20. Division among God's people always brings downfall. Paul reminds the Corinthians that Christ is not divided. The church is not about Paul, Apollos, or Cephas. It's about Jesus. He echoes Deuteronomy chapter 6, sorry for my pronunciation, verse 4. The Lord is our God, the Lord is one. If God himself is one, how can his people be divided? Paul just doesn't point out the issue. He actually he addresses the root cause in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. He calls out their spiritual immaturity. They're still acting like infants in Christ, fighting over human leaders rather than growing in faith. This mirrors in the book of Numbers, chapter 11, where the Israelites, despite seeing God's power, still grumbled like children, focused on worldly things rather than trusting in God's plan. Paul made it clear it's not about he who plants the seed or who waters it. It's only God that gives us the growth. Mentioned in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 6 through 7. Just like in In Psalms 127, verse 1, unless the Lord builds the house, the builder's labor is in vain. Human effort alone does not sustain the church of God. You're asking what this probably means. This means we need to stop idolizing leaders and just focus on Christ alone. It means we need to pursue spiritual maturity, leaving jealousy and division behind. We must remember that only God causes growth, not people, not denomination, and not trends. The enemy has always used division to weaken God's people, but in Escalates chapter 4, verse 12, it says, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. We stand in Christ together, we are strong. So let's ask ourselves, are we part of the problem, or are we working towards unity in Christ? Because in the end, Christ is not divided, so neither should we be. Thank you for listening.